What's up guys, how you all doing? Welcome to another video. So today we're going to be talking about sports photographers that you need to be following on social media. I recently put out a video and I had somebody comment. It was a guy called Dennis Carnes. Dennis, I hope I've said your surname properly. Carnes, Canes, I'm guessing, one of the two. Let me know in the comments below. But this video is inspired by you because you asked me which sports photographers should we be following on social media to get some inspiration. So I thought, you know what, we're getting towards the end of the year. It is nearly 2023. So I'm going to share with you some of my favourite sports photographers that I follow on Instagram. Now, these aren't just my favourites from 2022. Some of these I've followed for years. But I've got a whole mix in here. I've got real big channels with millions of followers. And I've also picked some smaller channels that I really like that maybe just have 100 or 200 followers. But nonetheless, in one way or another, all of these channels have inspired me and have inspired me as a sports photographer somewhere along the line. And I hope you will like them as well. I urge you to go and follow all the channels that I talk about in this video. I've got quite a lot of them coming your way. And you know what? When you do me a favour, go comment on something and tell them Rob Samble Sport sent you to that channel to go check it out. That would be cool. I'd love it when I'm then looking through my mentions and I get tagged in comments for some of those Instagram pages and I know they're from you guys, and that would be really cool. So make sure you do that for me over there. So look, in no particular order, I'm going to start with a couple of big ones and then I'm going to switch. We'll get some smaller ones in there, medium-sized, large channels, but ones I like. There's a load of them. I think I've got like 15 or 16 of them. I'll share with you why I think it's a good channel as we go. Let's get into this. First up, and I'm going with a big one that a lot of you might know already, but that is the Getty Sports Instagram page. Really worth following. Yes, of course, Getty is the big agency that has loads of photographers and they're at every event, but you know what? They're big for a reason. They have some fantastic photographers shooting for them, and their page has some incredible images. If you're not already following Getty Sport, I really recommend that you do. Okay, moving in from there, we've got another one of the big ones, and this is the Reuters Sports page. That's a really good one as well. Some incredible sports photos that you see shared through that Instagram page. Really recommend following it. Go through, check out their images, some inspirational shots on that Instagram page. Okay, moving on from there. This isn't a photographer or an agency, but it is the NBA. If you are a basketball photographer, and I know a lot of people who follow my channel like to photograph basketball, I really recommend following the NBA page. They have some incredible basketball photos shared across that page from all different photographers across the NBA. Really recommend following the NBA Instagram page. Moving on from there, I've got one that's a bit more specific for you, and that is the Chicago Bulls Instagram page. Now, Chicago Bulls, like all the teams, they have lots of videos and reels and all that stuff on there as well, but probably I would say a higher percentage than some of the other NBA teams. They have a lot of photography on there too, and it's some really great photography too, so I recommend following the Chicago Bulls Instagram page. Sticking with some basketball, another one, it's a photographer who I've actually met during one of the London NBA games. It's Brian Babineau. Now, he has some fantastic images over there on his page. He primarily shoots the Boston Celtics, and I believe he has been for a long time. But some fantastic images of the Celtics. Really recommend go checking out that page. Okay, we're moving away from there. So this is one of the big photographers based here in the UK, and it's a guy called Clive Mason. Now, he shoots a lot of F1, and I have to say some of his best images, some of his favourite stuff that I've seen from him is his F1 work. But he does other stuff too. I've actually sat next to him at a football game quite randomly and didn't realise till we got to about half time when I thought, oh, I'm sat next to Clive Mason. But really worth checking out his Instagram page. Some fantastic work over there. Moving on to something slightly different now. This one is the World Sports Photography Awards Instagram page. Really recommend this one. There is some inspirational stuff on there. Of course, a lot of the images they share are people who have won World Sports Photography Awards. So there's a reason why those images are great. And there's some real cool stuff, some quite different stuff on that page as well. I certainly have had some inspiration from that one, and I really recommend checking that one out. Okay, from here we're going to jump into some football. Now, most of the Premier League teams have some great club photographers who shoot for them. And I probably could have picked sort of 5, 6, 7, 10 of them. But I've got 2. And the first up is Serena Taylor. Serena is the club photographer at Newcastle United. And she does have some fantastic images. The other reason why I recommend her page is you're going to get the feeling not just of football pictures, but some of the kind of behind the scenes stuff and what it's like to actually be working for a club. You know, photos from training and all those kind of things that you don't necessarily get on a page where you're looking at kind of match action image after image. Really cool behind the scenes stuff over there as well. So I recommend you check out that page. Now, for much the same reason, the next one I'm going to recommend is Matt McNulty. Now, Matt works for Manchester City, one of the biggest football clubs, arguably in the world now, and certainly here in the UK. Now, he's one of a few photographers who works for Man City, but his images are really, really cool. Loads of behind the scenes stuff, same as I said for Serena's page. Really recommend it to get a feel of what it's like to be an all-round club photographer. I've certainly taken some inspiration from some of his behind the scenes stuff before. Really recommend checking out that page. Okay, sticking with football, and not just football, but the next one is Dickie Pelham. So a lot of you guys will know Dickie. He's had some cool books out and he's been shooting in the UK for years and years. But he has some great sports photos. Really recommend checking out his page. Lots of football, boxing, various other bits on there as well. Go check that one out. Okay, so I'm going to move into some of the, I guess, the smaller pages, or at least what some of you guys might call smaller pages, but pages that I think are fantastic and have certainly given me a load of inspiration. The first one I'm going to recommend is a fellow BBL, Basketball League, here in the UK photographer, and that's Carol Moyer. So Carol, I'm sorry if I said your surname wrong, but make sure you check out Carol's page. Some really great photos. One of my favourite BBL photographers, really cool images over there. Make sure you go check that one out. Okay, from there, going to move into somebody who shoots for the same agency as me, and someone who I met here online and is actually a member of our Facebook group. And that's Darren Woolley. Recommend you go check out Darren's page. Some real cool football pictures. Got to say, I've been really impressed with Darren's work lately. I'm checking him out all the time on his Instagram page, and of course I see his images on the Focus website as well. So I recommend checking out Darren's Instagram page for some real cool sports photos. He doesn't just do football, he does some other bits too, but make sure you check out his page. Okay, whilst I'm talking about Focus, that's my next one. Focus Images. That's the agency that I shoot for at the moment. Recommend checking out their Instagram page. They have photos from all the different photographers who work for Focus, and especially at the moment, a lot of photos from Paul Chesterton, who's been out shooting the World Cup in Qatar. He's had some amazing images he's been shooting for us out there. I recommend checking out the Focus Instagram page because you see a load of his photos and of course other people as well. Okay, from there we're moving into another person who is a friend of mine who is in the Facebook group as well. And that's my friend John. His page is called Onside, and especially if you like cricket photography, he has some fantastic cricket images. He shoots a lot for Leicester, and there's loads of cool stuff on his page. So if you want some inspiration, go check out his Instagram page. Okay, from there, we're moving on to Alex Davidson. Now, Alex shoots for Getty right now, or at least I think he still does. But prior to that, he actually used to shoot for the same agency as me. That's back when I was shooting with Frozen in Motion. Especially my first few bigger games, I shot them with Alex, and he actually gave me some fantastic tips and helped me a bit with my workflow. He's a fantastic photographer and some really great images. I really recommend checking out his page. Okay, we're into our final two, and these are both football photographers as well. First up is another real cool guy who I've met a couple of times, and that's Joe Dent. So Joe is the photographer for Posh. He shoots up there in Peterborough. He's got some fantastic images on his page. Lovely guy as well. He helped me out a load when I went up there to shoot the Fulham Under-21s away up there against Peterborough. Some great images. Make sure you go check out his Instagram page. Okay, and I thought I'd save one of the bigger ones till the end because I think you guys will really enjoy this one. And this is Eddie Kion's page. So Eddie is the photographer for the England football team. He has some fantastic images, match action, behind the scenes, especially recently some of the behind the scenes photos from the World Cup in Qatar. Really cool page, loads of inspirational stuff over there, and I really recommend you checking it out. Okay, so there we go. That's a whole load, right? I think I've given you like 15, 16, 17, something like that. So make sure you go follow all of those pages. I really do recommend it for some great inspirational sports work. I've shared them on the screen as we've gone through this video, but I'm also going to link them all in the description below. So nice and easy, you can go check them out. Don't forget to comment on one of their posts. Tell them you came from Rob Samble's page. And before you go and do all that, make sure you like this video, comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you comment below with your own Instagram pages as well. I would love to check some of them out, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this video who are looking for Instagram sports pages to follow might like to follow some of yours. In the meantime, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.